guys, it's Amanda over at AmandaReads, and first of all, let me just apologize if I look absolutely exhausted. It is pretty late. I just couldn't wait any longer to do this video. I've been wanting to do it for weeks. So the first two books I'm going to talk about are books that I received through BookTube tours, and if you don't know, if you are a booktuber, you can sign up to be a host of BookTube tours, which are run through Grace over at Loving Dem Books. Once you sign up, you'll be getting emails about books that are up for BookTube tours, and you can sign up, and what you're signing up for is a free copy of that book in exchange for promotion and review. I found that it's a really great way to expose myself to some new authors and genres, and I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm able to participate in such an amazing thing. The first book I have is Dark Horses by Cecily von Ziegesar. Now, if you know the name, because it might sound familiar, Cecily wrote Gossip Girl. And growing up, I was a huge fan of Gossip Girl, so when I saw this book, it really piqued my interest. But then I saw the cover and I saw that it had horses, and it really was really special to me. Growing up, I loved horses. I used to have horseback riding birthday parties, and a horse was always the first thing on my Christmas list. Not that I ever got one, but I just love horses. I think they're so cool. So it's about this girl named Merritt who has had some losses recently in her life. She's just super depressed, and one day she kind of just breaks down. She walks out of the SATs and she just kind of walks off. So her parents send her to this horse therapy place, and she starts bonding with this horse named Red. And Red is a really difficult horse that has never bonded with anyone before, but he really bonds with Merritt well. Red's owner notices how well they're bonding and actually funds them into racing, I believe. So Merritt starts to find herself attracted to some people that she meets. She meets this person named Beatrice and this other person named Carvin. But then it says that the horse will do anything to keep her for himself. This horse is so scary. I'm a little nervous, but I'm really excited. The purchase links and author social media info are in the down bar for Dark Horses. The next book I received from BookTube tours is Forget Tomorrow by Pintip Dunn. And unfortunately, at the time that I'm making this, I just haven't received the package yet, but in real time, I have definitely received this book and have already started reading it. So this book is part of a trilogy, and it is about a girl named Callie who is about to have her 17th birthday. And in the world that Callie's in, when you reach your 17th birthday, you receive a vision from your future that shows you what you are destined to be. And what Callie gets as a vision is herself murdering her gifted young sister. Since she is destined to be a criminal, she is thrown into a crazy prison, and then her childhood crush happens to be there. He helps her escape, and then so she's on the run from the government, and she's also trying to make sure she doesn't kill her sister. It just seems crazy. It seems amazing and interesting, and it seems like exactly what I want. This particular BookTube tour actually has a giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card, which I have linked down below. This is an international giveaway, which is really exciting. And I also have the purchase links and author social media links down below in the down bar. The next book I received for free in exchange for an honest review was Sunset in Central Park by Sarah Morgan. I have mentioned in a lot of my videos that I am a member of the US Sarah Morgan review crew. Sarah Morgan is a UK writer, and this book is book 2 in the From Manhattan with Love series. The first book was Sleepless in Manhattan, which I read a few months back, and now this is book 2, Sunset in Central Park. I do not want to go too deep into a synopsis about this because it would be very spoilery if you haven't read the first book. But basically in the first book we are introduced to 3 best friends, Eva, Paige, and Frankie. And book 1 was about Paige, and book 2 is about Frankie. And all we need to know is that Frankie is not interested in love at all, which is why she can't understand why she's feeling such feelings for a man. And that is all I want to say. It is really great so far. I'm loving it even more than the first book. I'm really sucked in. It is so great. Now I am moving on to the books that I purchased at the used book superstore. The first book I picked up is Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts, and I picked this book up because Fiona over at Reads and Eats and I were buddy reading this for the month of August. This is about a woman named Nell who moves to an island in Salem, Massachusetts. This island does not actually exist, and the story of the island is that there were three sisters who were witches, and as they were being hunted during the Salem witch trials, they made a place where they could go and be safe, and that was the island. They forged the island up out of the ocean and made it happen. So Nell moves to this island and she's on the run from, her dark past. Nell is not even her real name. You find this out pretty early, so you kind of wonder about her story and why she's fleeing to this small town. And then she meets a really great cast of characters along the way. She gets a job in this bookstore, and I'm telling you, I wish the bookstore was real. It sounds so quaint and so wonderful. And then she rents this little cottage, and it is this most wonderful cottage. It just sounds so perfect, and it's just a great summer vibe. There's romance, and it's wonderful. And it is the first book in a trilogy. The next book I picked up at the used book superstore was Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. Now I have had this book on my Kindle for years, but for some reason I am so bad at picking up my Kindle and reading books off of it. This 15-year-old girl named B gets really good grades in her report card, and she decides that she wants to take a family trip to Antarctica. And her mother is Bernadette. She is an agoraphobic, and she throws herself into making these preparations and getting ready for the trip. But as she's getting ready, things are happening, and she ends up fleeing the scene. And her family is just kind of left to try and figure out what the heck is going on. The next book I have is Remember Me This Way by Sabine Durant. This is about a woman named Lizzie Carter, and 1 year after her husband has passed, she goes to leave flowers at his grave. But then she sees other flowers from someone named Xenia, and she thinks to herself, who's Xenia? And then she starts to realize that she never knew her husband at all. At the same time, Lizzie is dealing with the fact that Zach was not the perfect husband that she let everyone believe he was. In fact, he was seemingly abusive from the synopsis, and she's convinced that he's coming back for her. So this story is just about her trying to figure out who he was and trying to figure out why she can't shake the feeling that he's not gone. Next, I have 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. So I read 19 Minutes probably back in 2012, I would say. I loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars. It is great. If you don't know, it is about a school shooting. It is a wonderfully powerful book about school shootings. It's the best book I've ever read about a school shooting. Unfortunately, this book has been banned in a lot of high schools, and that's really sad because I think it's a really important thing to read about. I honestly recommend that everyone try and give it a read in their life because it is a really great story by a really wonderful author. Then I also picked up Second Glance by Jodi Picoult, and again, I already read this. This is great. This is a ghost story. I loved it. I don't remember too much. I really want to reread it. Another reread I have is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. Next, I have The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. It's like really big. I don't really remember what this is about. I know that I did look it up on Goodreads to look at the synopsis before I purchased it, and I liked the sound of it. The next book I have is Julian's House by Judith Hawkes. This book is gorgeous. Everything about this is beautiful. It's a ghost story. It's supposed to be creepy, and I just think that it's going to be absolutely amazing. You should look this up. I think this is one that people should know about. That finishes the books that I bought at the used book superstore. Now I'm going to move on the 2 books I ordered from Amazon. So the first book I have was not the reason I actually placed the order, but I wanted it and it wasn't that expensive and I really thought I would read it soon. And that is Hollow City by Ransom Riggs, which is book 2 in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. I actually purchased this because I really want to go see the Miss Peregrine's movie, and I was nervous that there might be spoilers from book 2 in the movie because sometimes they do that. But the real reason I placed the Amazon order, Furthermore by Tahana Mafi. All I know is that this is the main character. She's colorless and she lives in a world that is made up of tons of bright colors. There is magic in the story. Something, maybe her father goes missing, I think. I don't know, I don't want to know too much, but it's so pretty. I'm so excited I got it. Now we are on to my last book of my book haul. I had a 40% off coupon emailed to me from Barnes & Noble, and I decided, hey, I've really been good about putting off on purchasing Lady Midnight. So why don't I go to Barnes & Noble and buy myself a copy? So Anthony and I go to the store. I'm looking it up on the computer exactly where it should be. I go, okay, there's a whole Cassandra Clare shelf with everything on it except Lady Midnight. It's saying there are copies in stock. I'm searching the entire department and it is not there. There's no one that works there in sight. There's 1,000 customers with no one that I can see working there around the area because they're all up at the front of the store because there's so many customers to ring out. I'll just pick up something else. So I saw all the new releases and I was like, I've seen all of these all over BookTube in the past week. Which do I choose? And then the book I chose is actually one I'm worried about. I'm worried that I won't like it because I've seen such crazy mixed reviews, but I bought it because I really wanted to see for myself. And that is The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I really hope I'm not disappointed. All I really know about this book is that it's about a girl named Mallory who has adopted parents, I believe, and it says that before that she was in a really bad situation. And now she's about to go into her senior year at a new school, and she sees this boy that she knows, but it's from that negative time in her past. There's a romance, I'm assuming, because there's described as being a connection, and we all know what that means. And that's kind of all I really know. I don't really want to know anymore. But those are all the books that I've acquired in the past month and a half. I hope that I introduced you to a new book that you haven't heard of before that might have intrigued you. If you liked this video and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys!